I listened to it on audio, and that was the first red flag because the narrator had a very, very, very strong British accent, and I hated every second of it. Hey guys, so we are officially in the middle of April, which is kind of crazy, but today I wanted to make a video of books that are popular, well-known, that most people enjoy, that I sadly did not enjoy. So I'm gonna jump right into it. The first book I have is called All Systems Red. Now, I don't even know who that's by. Give me a minute. Systems Red by Martha Wells. Now this is, I know they're all like super short books and there are a lot of books in the series. I kind of decided to read this because I felt like a lot of channels who, people who frequently read sci-fi have like read this book and enjoyed it. And I thought, hey, why not give it a shot? It's super quick read and it's, I mean, it's popular on Goodreads. It's got a 4.15. So I read it. I gave it 1 star. Whoa. So I gave it 1 star. It was like this main character and he was a robot AI. And I don't really know. I did finish it, but I couldn't tell you what happened. Like, you know, when you start reading a book, but the book is so short that even though you hate it, you're just going to push through because it's so short. That is what I ran into with this book. And I heard so many people praising it and saying how amazing it was. And I genuinely don't understand how they came to that conclusion because I thought it was horrible. I don't really understand how, like, I feel like the whole idea of the book was interesting. That's why I started reading it, like AI, and I guess he has some kind of humanistic qualities. Like, that's cool, you know, but even the way they were writing it was just boring to me and it didn't grab me in at all. And so I read the first one, but I don't plan on reading anymore or ever thinking about this book again. The next book that I read that, I also picked this next book out because it was kind of making its way around booktube. And like, I feel like every new video I saw of people reading books, everyone was picking up this book. So the next book is called I Who Have Never Known Men by Jacqueline Harfman. And this is another book that was super short, just over 200 pages. It's like sci-fi dystopia fiction. And we're following this girl and she has like no memory of anything. And she wakes up and she's like in this cage with other women. And like her whole life is kind of spent in this cage, like underground prisoners. And one day something happens and they get out of being prisoners. And that's kind of the book. And when I tell you, I'm trying to figure out why this was made and like what was the point. Like, you know how you're reading a book, what's the plot, what's the main idea? What was the main idea? Because I didn't get it. I didn't feel it. It was just bad. Like, I was just waiting for the shoe to drop. I was waiting for some crazy thing to happen, some crazy, you know, revelation, something to make it interesting and spicy, but it never gave. So this book has a 4.24 average rating and I gave it 3 stars. I just did not like it. It was just boring, y'all. Oh God, it was so boring. I really don't understand. I just don't get it. Like, I don't know. It was just stupid. I just hate to say that because it's just my opinion. It's not a fact. It's just my opinion. Okay, don't come for me. It's my opinion. Okay, goddamn. So anyways, I'm just reading some Goodreads reviews and someone said, do yourself a favor and read this. The second half of this book blew my mind. Very bleak, but it will haunt me forever. And I don't get that because it didn't blow my mind. All it did was made me extremely bored. And I was like, really? This is it? This is it? What do you mean? What do you mean? This is boring as fuck. So yeah, hate that. Okay, and the next book I read that was popular that I did not enjoy was Acatar. I have not read the entire series, and I don't plan on doing so. I've only read the first book, of course, by Sarah J. Maas. I read this book, I think I did a combination of reading it physically and listening to the audiobook. So I started with reading physically, and of course this book has incredible hype, insanely popular. This author is insanely popular and well known in like the science, fantasy romance genre. And so I was like, what the heck? Let me see. And I don't want to shit on it too much because I thought the writing was going to be really bad. Like, I thought it was going to give YA and like childish writing, but I genuinely have no harps with the writing, and like the internal dialogue. Like, all of that was good. I thought that was good. So my problems with the book were, I just thought the plot was stupid. Like, I don't know. Like, I heard that Throne of Glass is like a Cinderella retelling, but it's like, why? Like, I don't really care about, and this acatar is supposed to be a Beauty and the Beast. I don't care. Like, it's so boring to just reread a story that's like the same thing. You're changing like three things. And plus, I'm just not that kind of like reader. Like, I don't read fantasy romance. I just need something deeper, something darker. I didn't care about Fae or like all this other stuff they were just throwing in my face. I just couldn't digest it. It wasn't interesting or fun. That's my opinion. You clicked on this video, so I don't know what you expected. But yeah, the average rating is a 4.2 and I gave it a 3 stars. I posted a reading vlog of this, so if you guys want to check that out, feel free to. I will say that like after I posted that video and I posted like different TikToks about that book, a lot of people were saying how they don't believe the first book is like the best or the strongest, and so they recommend that I continue, but I just do not see myself doing that because I just don't really care. Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at with that. I just don't, you know how you can read a book and it can be like a 3-star book, but because it's a big book series, it's almost like, why am I wasting my time reading a book series that's just going to be an 3 average? Like, if I'm reading a book series, I'm not going to pick up the second one or the third one if the first or the second didn't get a 5 stars or like a high 4. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I give you a 3, you probably barely deserve that 3 in my head. So I'm not going to continue a whole book series just for you to underachieve again. That's what I'll say about that. You're lucky I read that one. Okay? You're lucky I read that one. Now, the last book that I want to talk about that is well-known and popular that I did not like was This Silent Patient by Alex Michaelides. This book has a 4.1 average rating. I gave it a 3 stars. I read this book a couple of years ago, but actually I listened to it on audio, and that was the first red flag because the narrator had a very, very, very strong British accent, and I hated every second of it. It's so funny because like I can like a British accent, but it has to be certain kind of British. I don't even know what the fuck that means, but like, you know, there's a lot of different kinds of like British. You can be it's different kinds of British, and I don't know locations, so I can't give you fucking examples, but let's just say that whatever his accent was, it was hurtful to my ears. So that definitely took away from the experience. Also, spoiler alert, I just hate unreliable narrators. I personally feel like that is an extreme cop-out for thrillers. I feel like the best thrillers are going to be books that genuinely give you all the breadcrumbs to come to the truth, but at the same time, they give you so many twists and turns that you're unable to come to that conclusion yourself. So, when a book has an unreliable narrator, I hate it. I genuinely do not want to fucking read that book. If I see that as like oh my god, it's unreliable, I don't want to read it, bro. I don't want to, what's the point of reading this book if I can't even trust who the hell is writing it? If I can't trust what you're saying, then it's not even a thriller at this point. It's just lies. You're just spewing lies to me. I don't really care about that. The best thrillers are the books that give you the true facts that the actual main character / narrator holds. The true facts, not the crazy ones that she makes up in her head. The true ones. And like I said, just takes you on so many twists and turns that you are still unable to come to the correct conclusion. So that's my gripe with that book. And it was like so fucking confusing. Maybe, I'm sure I would have understood it more if I read it physically. It was just really hard to follow. Yeah, I'm not really crazy into thrillers. I didn't enjoy it, like I said. This is why it's in this video. But yeah, guys, let me know down below if you have read any books that are super popular that you like hated. Let me know what those books are and why you hated them, and if you agree or disagree with what I have said. Okay, I'll catch you guys later. Bye.